ready, go on. Hot 6 GSL Season 4 Suoshin, Reno, Patty, Simba, Yoda, Young, Hyoru, JD, Kyoryu, Marine King, Byon, Lei, Happy, Genius, TaeJa, Mana, MMA, MVP, Naniwa, Hatu, Sniper, Squatter, Nesty, Life, JYP, Supernova, Donglegu, Bomo, Volti, Gumio, MC, CD.
Seoul, Korea, and welcome to GSL Codes. Tasting our toast is here. We've already had an amazing first week, a ton of very close technical games. This is by far the most difficult, challenging Codes group we've ever had.
Yeah. This
ever.
Is
all-star lineup.
It's pretty crazy, and in fact, I think most people thought today's group was the hardest of all of them.
Yeah. And of course, this is one of the groups that we actually have a non-Korean in.
That's right.
We got Mana,
and three badass Terrans. TaeJa, hottest Terran on the planet right now. MVP, hottest Terran of all time. And of course, MMA, the former rival of MVP who kind of went away for a little bit, but is back.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So we got three Terrans and a Protoss. If you are just now joining us for this season of GSL Codes, definitely check out last week. Really, really, really good games. Easily some of the best Wings of Liberty games I've ever seen.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of Wings of Liberty, I've been playing the beta a lot. Your poor computer was broken. You finally got it fixed today.
I got it fixed today.
Yeah, you poor guy. He hasn't been able to play, but man.
I actually called an emergency place.
Yeah.
Like when he's 24, they actually come down. I'm like, this has to run harder than Swarm. He's like, well, all right. Like, and I'm like, he's like, I don't even know what that runs on. And I'm like, I don't figure it out, man. I don't care how much money it takes. So. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
But you've been playing it. What do you think?
Dude, I love it. I love it so much. It's so fun. I can't even believe it.
All right, we got some games then coming up, Artosis. I'm looking forward to it. So far, actually, before I go any further, let's just go ahead and talk about yesterday. Or not yesterday, the previous games we played before. As you can see, Happy and Rain, they made it through. Do not be confused. That is not the same Rain from year one of GSL. That is not him. It's actually Rain from the Kespa players.
That's right. SK Telecom T1 Rain. Very good player.
Now, Beyond and Genius actually played really good games. I felt bad for Genius. Genius, the first time we've seen him kind of visibly frustrated.
Yeah, he was, normally he looks cool, calm, and collected, win or lose, but that day, he was a bit off, man. He was, emotionally speaking, he was a bit off.
Beyond also looking a little bit stressed out. Understandably so. This is a point in time where these groups are just so hard. So, Happy, definitely. He got out of that group right away, actually. And then, of course, we got to watch Rain. Oh, speaking of which, guess who?
Well, he's got to be happy because he went through that group. And also, that's his idea.
And that's also the player. Yes, Artosis.
I'm clever.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us here today. I have to say, so far out of all the seasons I've casted of GSL, this has been by far my favorite. I feel like suddenly StarCraft 2 is really just coming together. Mm-hmm. Everybody's basically making good calls. It's awesome. So definitely check out those old VODs. But enough of that. On to today's matchups. We have three very good Terrans and one very good Protoss. We got TaeJa, Mana, MMA, and MVP.
Tell you something about these players. TaeJa, he is so hot right now, killing everybody everywhere he goes, showing that Terran can still compete. Then, of course, we have Mana. What a badass, the DreamHack champion. One of the best Protosses in the world, really.
Someone we used to play StarCraft 1 with, too.
Yeah. MMA, He's been gone for a bit, but he is back, and when he's ready to play at his old level, man, he will be a championship contender once again. And then, of course, the winningest Terran player of all time, MVP.
Overall ranked #1, as you can see here. He is just, ranked for Terran #1. GSL ranking 3rd, but this guy has got so many championships, it's just insane.
It's silliness. I think only MC is up with how many tournaments he's actually won. He's the only person anywhere near him. I think MC's probably ahead in that, but
yeah.
As far as GSL monies go, MVP's got the head up there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so TaeJa, it's funny because a few seasons ago, he was good, but we didn't think it was that much of a big deal. Now, oh my God, all killing teams.
Oh yeah. TaeJa has really come into his own recently. He's killed like every tournament, that Team League thing that went on where like TaeJa almost killed IM completely. It took Seed to take him out. I mean, TaeJa is on fire right now, man, and he's got to be a favorite to come out of this group, and that's hard to say because this is a crazy group.
Yeah, it really is. So I'm sure, Mana more than aware of TaeJa's playstyle. TaeJa probably does not have as much experience against Mana. There's more, there's a lot more stuff out there with TaeJa that you could study. But we're going to see what happens. Is our only Protoss going to get out of this group here?
We will see, Taesis. I hope so.
Yeah, I do hope so. But I guess we only have to hope. We just have to watch and find out. As game #1, set #1 is about to start. TaeJa going up against Mana. A Terran versus Protoss here at the GSL Codex.
GSL. Welcome to GSL Ohana.
What?
That face on MMA.
Oh God, no! I cracked
was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
All right, in the bottom right, currently kind of a fan favorite here amongst the Terran players here in the GSL Codex from the site TeamLiquid.net. His ID is
Liquid TaeJa.
And in the upper left starting location, the only Protoss here, and one of the only non-Koreans here in the GSL Codex. So obviously he's going to have a lot of foreign support, from every non-Korean viewer that we got here, which means a lot for the stream. He is
Mana.
And Mana is, as we said before, he's from StarCraft 1. He played with the likes of Artosis and TaeJa.
Yeah, I actually played with this guy so much in the past. Great player in StarCraft 1 even back when he was, I don't even know how old he was. He was like 12 or something, man. Like he was really young, but still could compete. Poland
solid.
Was one of the best countries back then.
And I want to echo what you just said because Poland was so freaking good and had so many good players in StarCraft 1.
Yeah.
It almost didn't make any sense. Like when you watch the Polish WCG and like look at the brackets.
Oh yeah.
It's like just insane, man.
It was a crazy Protoss fest with just with Tarson and a few Zergs thrown in, basically.
And I have to agree with that side. This is Terran Kingdom.
That's right. This is
like Game
Earth
of Thrones.
is in fact a Terran planet.
Yes. I mean, we're going to see who's going to get King's Landing here.
Yeah. Well, tasteless.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you think is going to come out of this group? Your pick.
Honestly, I think it's going to be MVP and TaeJa.
Yeah,
I want Mana to get out.
Yeah.
More than I want anybody else to get out. Just because I like the non-Korean presence beyond casters here.
I think MVP is probably universally thought of as the most likely to get out of this group. I don't have facts to back this up, but
no, that sounds about right, actually.
He's MVP. He's like MC. You just kind of bet on him. That's just the way it goes.
Sure.
Even though MC did end up failing the other day, so that's could happen at MVP, of course. But anyways, Mana here has scouted that it's a command center first and a double racks. There should be 2 gases coming up for TaeJa relatively soon here. Pretty standard play. Mana, on the other hand, very standard himself. Removing some probes from his gas to get his nexus up a bit quicker. Seeing that he's in no mortal danger at the moment. Now, I want to say that the one thing that Mana has to worry about on this map is Warhounds. But this is not, in fact, Heart of the Swarm. So, You know, I was actually talking with Calder right before this. Right before this match started, he was saying that, you know, the one scary timing on this map is going to be when those first drops start coming from Mana. That's what he's been having a lot of trouble with on the ladder against top practice partners and stuff like that. So we'll see if he can actually hold that off or not.
Yeah, and I guess ideally for Mana, if he can actually snipe one of those medevacs.
Oh, yeah.
As it's coming in there, that's going to really set the pace for him.
Absolutely, it would. Well, as of right now, we do have the third command center going for TaeJa, so he's going really economical. And this is something that Mana has expected from TaeJa, that he would play pretty macro-oriented style, not likely to see all that much cheese out of this guy, because he can play the late game in TVP, no question about it. He's not one of these Terrans that has to do damage early.
Right, absolutely. This is one of our smaller maps. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's as impactful in Terran vs. Protoss, but in some matchups you really end up a little bit too stuffed together, especially one of these maps you can suffer on if you're Zerg and it goes to the end game.
Yep.
So we got Tech Lab coming down here now, along with the factory. Third command center is almost done, and again from Mana, this is really nowadays against anybody who goes command center first, your bread and butter build. You know, the 3 gateways followed up by Robo after the Nexus.
Yeah, yeah. Some people do like to put the Robo down first. Gives you some quicker scouting, makes you maybe a little bit harder to hold against like a 4-rax pressure or something like that. But anyways, it's definitely the bread and butter right now. Colossus play is all the rage. But you know, there's a lot of people just going for like one Colossus, and occasionally we still see, for instance, you know, Robo into Twilight Tech. But with these two forges going up for Mana, it looks like he should be going right into Colossus.
And he'll be getting that 1-1 pretty soon here. For the Terran, the first reactor is about to finish. The second will be there shortly, as Stim is now on the way. And the Robotics Bay, as Artosis said, we're going to have Colossi in this game. It's just very popular right now.
It's very solid. You know, you can go double forge plus Colossi. It's basically mapped out. If you play just right, you can defend everything Terran does and get into the late game, which is really where Protoss players want to be.
And there's a high chance he'll just send his factory out to scout pretty soon here. Once it's done making that reactor. He doesn't really need it anymore.
Very true.
And we are into what is a very typical kind of early mid-game here.
Yep. Now we'll have to see what type of timings that TaeJa is going to do for floating his command center down to his third base, and when will Mana actually end up taking his third base as well.
Now this is going to be the first observer, not this one, but the one that we just saw before, to get inside TaeJa's base and get an idea of what's going on. And he will clearly see that, okay, everything is pretty normal right now.
Yeah. And, you know, I love that scan of TaeJa, really. We don't see Terran scan all that often on Protoss, but just that one scan with seeing the 6 gates and the Robo working, he's going to be pretty sure of what's going on.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be so afraid, and in fact, right after scanning, he's going to go take this third base instead of just keep his command center as main, knowing that, oh, okay, you're probably going double forge here. You know, you can't really walk out. There's no such thing as a 1-1 Colossus timing. So he's completely allowed to go ahead and expand like this.
And as we mentioned earlier, you know, Mana was a little bit concerned about drops, and you can see he's you know, trying to work with that by having that observer in the center left starting location.
Yeah, and not just that, but a pylon on the edge of his base and not much in that corner. So he is afraid of that drop. That's the one thing that he's a little bit nervous about here.
Well, Terran drop when you're taking your third is quite strong. Look at the timing here. Looks like he has Stalkers right out about when the first 2 medevacs would come out. Scanning here now, he sees the absence of Stalkers, so he's going to say, oh, there must be Stalkers in the main then.
Well, Mana is throwing down some more pylons as well. He wants to watch drops on all sides, not just the main drop. And, you know, this little pressure from TaeJa that we're seeing, I don't really see it doing that much. You know, he hasn't taken his third Nexus yet. Mana is not being greedy at all. He's getting his 2-2 started, continuing to make units. So he should be safe from everything.
Now, note he's landed his factory here. And, you know, obviously the Protoss was to kill that as quickly as possible, but there's a possibility that Terran could snipe. Let's see, he's going to go for it. Nice force fields. Yep. And that's exactly what you want to pick up because there are no Stalkers.
And pretty good pickup. Didn't lose that much there, but wasn't effective anyway either. He wanted to snipe a Colossus, just wasn't going to work. Oh my god, oh my god. TaeJa actually going back to the third base. Look at this clever move. Going
Hitting
after
these
that sentry.
sentries here. Picks up.
Yeah, lost a few
Wow,
units to kill that.
That was a pretty ballsy move.
Yeah, I like the thought process behind it because it could have gone better. You know, if Mana wasn't so quick, he could have killed both sentries and really not lost anything.
Yeah,
so
you lose a Marine or Marauder, that's worth nowhere near as much as a sentry.
TaeJa's pushing his weight around the map right now. Really good play. And his third base is completely up and running. He actually has 69 SCVs to 55 probes of mana. And that is an issue.
So, looks like back here at the Protoss base, actually I can't see what he's making because of the graphic, but there's some interesting data here. What's he making in his main Artosis?
For our Protoss?
Yeah, just more gates? Okay,
Yeah,
the
Templar
Templar Archives. All right.
Yeah. He's just getting ready for that tech switch, which he's going to have to do. He's going to have to utilize both High Templars and Colossi to take out a player the level of TaeJa here. Especially when TaeJa's economy is this good. He's already up by 20 supply just by getting that quicker command center and timing a great scan to know he could actually mine from his third.
All right, so he's regrouping now. Rallying his army up here to the middle of the map. TaeJa does indeed have map control. I don't know if there's anything TaeJa should really do right now, but keep on massing.
Oh, we have a big mistake by Mana right now. He has a finished Colossi that can't pop out. He has to kill one of his gates because he's surrounded his robotics. And that's a gigantic deal. If he doesn't realize that, he's in so much trouble. I don't know that he will realize that for a bit because he's switching into Templar tech, and sometimes people just stop Colossus at that point. But here we go. Here's this big drop that he's so scared about, and this could be really bad for him. He's out of position right now, and there's another brute going towards his third. Uh-oh.
He's stimming. Gonna get a good angle here. Takes out one gate. Takes out this pylon, and he will pick up and leave. And one medevac goes down. He will not get the second.
Yeah, but in the meantime, his third base is gone, Tasteless.
Yeah, the third base of Mana has been destroyed.
And that was just a great double-pronged attack there by TaeJa. And Mana now is in terrible, terrible shape. What do? He didn't even really kill units, that many units of TaeJa's during this.
Has he caught on to the Colossi yet?
No, he has not. So he still has stuck Colossi.
This is going to set a very bad pace here.
Yeah, he should have 3 right now. He should be wondering where his other one is at some point.
This
and
is
he has
kind of
to
like
kill
a brain
gate.
fart here.
And he lost a gate too. So I mean, he's just not. He's not in the position that he needs to be. This is very rough. The one thing we can say for him is that his 3-3 is on the way, and you know, TaeJa's going to be a little bit behind on that. He's definitely going to have 3-3 before TaeJa, although TaeJa's +3 attack has started as well.
All right, Cloak is just now started.
Okay, he figured out Colossus.
Oh, that sucks. That's actually very nerve-wracking when that occurs.
Yeah.
You know.
So there you go. He has.
Considering he probably could have had like what, maybe 2 more.
Yeah,
that was going on for a long time.
You know, I don't know if he was planning on making more at that time, but yeah, it could have stopped a lot of things from occurring. Now we do have Mana double expanding. I like that.
Now, Mana, note he's not maxed out. He's at 162. So, be out in the middle of the map like this, I mean, the arc TaeJa can have, he can actually just run Mana over. So he's got to be very careful here. We see Marauders running now. Dying.
That's right. Mana is moving across the map. He has a decent number of High Templars. The Storm's ready, but there are ghosts out for TaeJa. So if they do actually hit into each other, Mana's going to have to hit those storms perfectly because TaeJa just has more armor.
Yeah, right TaeJa's actually making more barracks, so when he loses this, he's going to be able to remax pretty easily.
In fact, he is getting Cloak as well. He might hold off on attacking till Cloak's on, but no, it looks like he's just going to go for it.
Nice snipe there. Also taking out these Templars from the top.
Nice side storm going down, getting a lot of the Vikings and some of the infantry as well. Only one Colossus is left over.
Actually, it's about to be 0.
Yeah, down it goes. And TaeJa going to hit this third base once again. Only Stalkers left over.
This actually might be too much for him to recover from.
Yeah, it looks like it might be.
He's going to lose this next. He might try to barrel up the ramp. Does he know about the other base of Mana's?
Yeah, he does.
Know? He does? All right, so I guess he's just going to go over there and kill that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And, I mean, Mana just with gateway units left. 3-3 upgrades. But +3 is about to finish for TaeJa, who also has a ton of medevacs. So, I mean, TaeJa is in a position where it's almost impossible for him to lose at this point. We'd have to have just perfectly hit storms for Mana to have any chance here.
Note how cautious TaeJa is. He's definitely a guy who knows how to keep a lead. And He's been pretty calculated about when he's going to get this base, but it looks like this base is eventually just going to be killed. And there's going to be no evidence that this was ever here. There's that last pylon's destroyed. And I feel like, yeah, this is like basically economic checkmate. Basically all of the bases on the bottom of the map are owned by TaeJa now. So there's no other obvious location he's going to expand to. So from here, TaeJa is either going to, oh my god, he's going to build planetaries outside the guy's base.
Oh god, you're right. This is poor Mana.
Wow. Wow, all right. I was going to say, I guess I'll just wait outside the guy's base, but now this is like, not only is this good and actually can do this, but this is actually pretty psychologically rocking for Mana right now.
Yeah, it really
is. This is like, oh god, this is my first GSL game and this is happening. This is not good.
That's right. I mean, he's got to be nervous already. He hasn't ever played in Code S before. He's only done the up and downs, and to be here having this happen, it's pretty rough, man.
All right, so we're going to see GG probably any second here as the Manor Mules are landed. There it is, GG.
Wow. TaeJa.
Well, look at TaeJa's smile.
Look at that smirk. Well,
he's like, yeah, I did kill that.
I mean, he dropped a bunch of mules. He made a bunch of command centers. He dominated that game from point A to point B, TaeJa.
Well, I guess there's not much to say about that game. No, other than Mana did make that one mistake. I think that was kind of the highlight of the game, where he actually surrounded his gateways and stifled his boss production.
Mana's brother in there, trying to keep him calm, cool, and collected. For any of you old StarCraft 1 guys, that's Asterix, the Terran player.
Oh, that's Asterix?
Yes.
I didn't know that was Asterix.
Yeah.
That's old school.
Oh, yeah.
That's old school, man.
I was talking to them the other day, and we were all laughing about how bad manner we all were in StarCraft 1.
Yeah.
Especially me and Asterix, because we were Terran players. Well, you know what? TaeJa just is on form. Can Mana stay calm? I feel like, having his brother there talking to him, that's going to calm him down a lot. That's his brother he talks a lot of StarCraft strategy and stuff with. And he's going to come in there with a cool head and say, you know what, you didn't do it.
Stasis in day 9 right there.
There you go.
There you go, man. That's what that is. Crank that in, nerds. Now, he's just gonna have to not make any errors in his play. Yeah,
he's got to step his game up. No question about that. No one even going in for TaeJa to talk to him. He's in control right now.
Well, if I was the coach, I'd be like, yeah, just leave him alone.
Yeah,
he doesn't actually need somebody coming in there and even talking to him. It's like, just leave him alone.
TaeJa played just basically perfectly. Yeah, I mean, he didn't make any mistakes that I caught at all. He played really smartly. The scan, taking the third a little bit quicker. The drop with the double-pronged attack. It was all relatively standard and quite strong. I mean, what can a coach say to that? So, yeah, keep it up. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. Next map is going to be Entombed Valley. And I don't even know if there's anything special Mana has to do beyond just no micro.
I'd like to see him go for like maybe the one Colossus into Twilight Tech. That's actually my favorite for this map right now. I think that could be a good style. He did use that against Keen, I believe it was. Was that the match? Yeah, I think so. I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was.
I might have this wrong, but anyways, this is something all Protoss unit players are mixing in, and it's a good call to mix in. Sometimes they over counter. I don't know that TaeJa will do that, but makes you safe early and allows that transition a little bit easier into the tempo tech.
Well, it looks like we are getting confirmation that everybody's ready to do this, and when it's time, we're going to get this going, and I believe actually we are ready now. Artosis, do you think it's going to be a 2-0? Do you think it's going to be a 2-1 for TaeJa, or maybe Mana's going to pull a rabbit out of his hat?
As sad as it is to say it, I think it's going to be a 2-0, man.
I think you're right.
TaeJa's looking too good.
And this is nothing against Mana, actually. This just TaeJa just looks like completely bulletproof. By the way, that was so smart when he actually made all those command centers, because you actually can just make planetaries.
No.
You actually can do that.
TaeJa's saying, I'm not going to walk up a ramp into you. I want to win GSL, Code S.
Yeah.
So he just chilled, and I think the psychological part is even more important because he didn't have to make those. Like, he's going to win 100% either way.
You could just drain him.
Yeah. But just making those, like, Mana's going to look at that and be like, wow, I'm in a booth with an audience, and everyone is watching me.
There's a camera to my left side.
Yeah.
Filming my reactions. That's why this is the best esports tournament in the world because it is the most competitive here in Seoul, Korea. We don't mess around at the GSL. Codes! Wow!